We have developed a method for plant breeders to identify new varieties that will still grow in a changing climate. We are using machine learning and biological data to identify which varieties are going to do well, even if it's going to be much warmer or colder or wetter or drier than it was before. We are using models to predict which of these varieties are going to perform well, and we give these recommendations to our customers so that they can create new varieties of wheat, corn, soybeans, and other crops that will do well in even new climate. We identified our customer need by talking to different breeding companies, by identifying the availability of certain data sets, and we were able to identify plant breeders today use, let's say, statistical method, linear mixed models that is usually outperformed by machine learning. So we thought if we apply our proprietary machine learning technology to this problem, we would be able to really create something that is much more successful in selecting plants, especially when considering environmental data sets. So considering identifying which of the plants will perform well in a changing climate. So what we did for the innovation was we identified the kinds of changes that we need to make in the plant breeding process today. And we identified for our clients how we could bring this together. There were a lot of legal requirements around submitting the right documentation, and there was a lot of questions that seemed to ask the same things in several different ways. And so it was quite challenging to stay very consistent throughout the entire application, especially with several people working on it. And we also had a challenge around explaining the technology in a way so that non-experts could easily understand and see why it's meaningful. We identified the size of the market in the first project, basically the SME instrument phase 1, and did a lot of market research during that time and saw that there is great potential around new varieties being registered every year. And especially European breeding companies being interested in sort of their own portfolio of plants that they would need. Being able to formulate a research plan and then being able to hire the experts that are able to execute on it. It's very helpful to identify exactly what we would like to create for our customers, and then being able to execute on this with machine learning experts, in our case, is only possible when we have the necessary funding. Other SMEs could certainly benefit from taking a look at the open calls that do exist, making sure that it's something that fits the current theme that the funders are looking for. And there's a lot more different areas out there that potentially could be where you could apply. For SMEs, it also helps to look into potential networks where you could collaborate. And one of the biggest benefits that we saw from being an EIC selected company, we got access to the EIC business web platform, basically, and they continuously send invitations for innovation days or other kind of events where you can participate, and it's an actual corporate or an investor looking for a specific solution. And if that fits to what you're doing, chances are that you can really have very meaningful conversations there.